Joe, how do you feel about what we witnessed last night?
Look, I knew they weren't winning the game. I mean, let's be honest. We both knew coming into these two games against New England and Baltimore, they had no shot. I mean, let's be real. I never for a second thought they would win, even when they took the ball down with the opening drive to score the touchdown. To me, the biggest thing last night, you can get on Fields all you want. He made a lot of mistakes. He had some good moments, too. But, it is what it is. Big drop pass by this guy Mitchell, actually a couple of them. Some bad penalties that intentional grounding by Fields was a killer penalty. Another killer penalty by Stevens on a big sack by Quincy Williams before halftime. Defensive holding. You had the drop pass by Mitchell, that pass down the sideline. Hit him. Best pass that Fields threw all night. Hit him right in the hands. He dropped it. He dropped another one as well. What could I say? The defense, no pressure. They sacked him once. He got away a couple times when they got close. McDonald was a non-factor. He might have been a little banged up still. He non-factor in the game. The guy's wide open in the second. I mean, oh, my God. I mean, you can't get more open than they were. 5-10 yards. Seems like, Hunter Henry killed him. Collins killed him. To me, that's really the story. I mean, the defense was terrible. May carved them up, and, that's the deal. I mean, I thought the offense was okay. I thought the offensive line played well. I think the offensive line is really starting to come around. There was only really one sack of Fields, and I guess they said it was two, but that was the fumble on the a bad snap, which he should have fell on.
I know.
I don't know what he's doing, picking it up and trying to run with it. I had no idea. Fall on the damn ball. I thought they played hard. The Patriots are light years ahead of them. First of all, they got to, the quarterbacks are in different stratospheres.
Right.
And here's the other thing, too, and I got to say this about the coach, okay? And the jury's still out on the coach, okay? Like I said, they're playing for him. There's no doubt. It's not a matter of effort or anything along those lines. But what he did this week again with Samini when he got all over him, I mean, come on. We all knew that Wilson was hurt. Was this a surprise that now he's on IR? Some of the stuff the coach does at the press conference. And here's the other thing, too. After the game last night, I wanted to see what he was going to say about Fields. He never criticized Fields.
I don't get that.
Never. And there's no way. I mean, based on what he says, I don't think there's any way he's even thinking about going to Tyrod.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I mean, maybe he does because some of the things that he alluded to made you feel like he's going to truly evaluate and not just, rubber stamp.
Well, no, real quick. You know why I think it's different, Joe? So what you heard last night, I agree with you. He met the media again today, and when asked about a quarterback change, he said, I'm going to evaluate everything. Right. And I think that's code for he's going to make a quarterback change.
Okay.
That's how I took it, at least.
Yeah,
so I think his tone was different today than it was last night.
Yeah, because he got home and thought about it. Yeah. Right? You get home late. You probably got up early before you had the meeting with the media. You watched it again, and you're like, dude, this is not right. But I think, Joe, and you know this more because of your history with this team, they have a coach. They have a quarterback. They have a running back. It feels like they have everything in order to be a pain in the butt for the next half a decade to 10 years. That's if I was a Jet fan, that's what
talking about the Patriots now.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Patriots.
You think?
I'm talking about how you look at this team that was like, all right, they suck. They're going to be bad for a while. Right. And then like that, they're right back where they were.
Well, look, I mean, they're 9-2. They've won 8 in a row. They got a cream puff schedule. I think the only team they play the rest of the year with a winning record is Buffalo, and they already beat them in Buffalo.
Right.
They might be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I mean, believe me, I know. You know what? I'm trying not to let that kill me. I'm just trying to concentrate on my team. But look, I mean, unless we find the quarterback. And we pray that we got a head coach, and it doesn't look great right now in that regard. I mean, they're gonna kill us. They're gonna torment me again for years. By the way, one more thing I want to throw in about the defense. Again, no turnovers. They've gone.
It's amazing.
10 games. They haven't intercepted a pass. They forced 1 turnover all year. How is that possible? For years, and Evan knows this, for years, Ev, I screamed they never forced turnovers. They have taken it to a historic level now.
I mean, they are setting records for how inept they are at not being able to force turnovers. The thing that annoyed me about last night, not that I thought they were going to win or they're better or this or that. It was that I thought maybe naively that, hey, Aaron Glenn's done a really good job of cleaning up the mindless penalties. He's done a really good job. And then last night you got a 12 men on the field penalty out of a dead ball timeout?
Yeah, well.
How does that happen?
Well, how does how do you get a defense? I know these defensive holdings, they probably happen all the time. That was a killer with the sack by Williams.
And how does that even happen when the sack occurred in less than 1 second?
I know, that's what I thought. He didn't even see anybody downfield. It happened so damn fast they couldn't wait to throw the flag. No, believe me, bro, it's what can I say? Again, I'm trying to look for positives. The team's not going anywhere anyway. I'm trying to look for my positive take from last night is the fact that I thought the offensive line played well and is getting better. I did think that. I know Tipman had a bad penalty in the game, but even so. I thought that. I thought that Engstrom did a good job. I thought the play calling was okay. That opening drive, I guess he scripted it. It was Bill Walsh from the 80s. I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, I like that. They hit a bunch of, I think they were 8 for 14 on third down last night, which is mind-boggling when you think about it. Brees didn't do much, but they were keen on him. But I go back to this again. Why don't they throw him the ball? It makes me Tiki. They don't throw him the ball.
Yeah,
they threw him 2 passes last night. One was a 2-yard loss. One was maybe a 9-yard gain.
Right,
what are we doing?
But problem is, how are you going to do that? Because Justin Fields has trouble convincing you that he can throw the ball anywhere.
Right.
So the only way you can get Brees Hall the ball is to do it surprise like last week where he caught that. I mean, he sprinted out and then stopped, and that was I forget what they call it. It's like a sprint screen, but whatever. Okay. And it worked, but it's because you hadn't seen it. Now you got to create new ways to get him the football in the pass game, and Justin Fields hasn't been great at that. So this all comes back to the quarterback. When your quarterback doesn't play well or give the threat of playing well, it makes you unable to do a lot of things. And I think that's where Tanner Engstrom, whether he's young or not in this play calling duties, that's where he's struggling with. You feel it.
Yeah. And let me say this, too. I mean, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be next year. They're going to get their shot at one of these quarterbacks. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be, at minimum, a top 5 pick. I don't think there's any question about it. And I think, really, the only teams that could be in that mix for a quarterback are the Saints and the Raiders. I don't think any of these other teams, the Giants, the Titans, these teams are not.
You don't think the Browns would take one?
Well, they already got 2 young ones.
I know,
but another one?
Yeah, I kind of think they would.
Well, that's a weird situation.
I think if I was, what they've done with quarterbacks is you talk about the Jets. I mean, they let Mayfield go. The money they gave Watson. I mean, I would think if I'm the Browns, at some point, don't you got to see Sanders play? Doesn't he have to play?
I would think so, unless they despise him and maybe the owner forced the pick. That's the only thing I can think of.
But Joe, I don't know if you heard Stefanski, their head coach this week.
Right. What did he say?
Because he was asked specifically that. Because Dylan Gabriel has not been good.
No.
He said, do you think do you see, paraphrasing, will we see Shedeur Sanders? Immediately, he was like, no, we're sticking with Dylan Gabriel. He's going to be our guy. It almost feels like he was forced to keep Shedeur Sanders, and he has no intention ever of playing him ever.
Right. Well, here's something else to remember, though. And I said this on my podcast. I was on with the great Jake Asman today, and I've said this. You could draft a quarterback this year and still draft a quarterback next year.
100%.
I mean, it's not unprecedented to do.
Why not?
If you draft a guy and he's not the guy, maybe you take Dante Moore. Even if you wind up with Mendoza and he doesn't turn out to be the guy, you could still draft, maybe Arch Manning the next year. So they're in a good position with all the draft capital that they can do something like that.
I think it actually is smart to do that because, A, the odds of hitting are very low. Not just if you're the Jets. It's bad enough when we're the Jets. And you're loaded enough, like you said, with extra picks where you can afford to take those shots. Why not?
Yeah, I agree. I'm 100%. And I really don't want to see some vet. I know Herb Street mentioned Kirk Cousins for a year. I don't want Kirk Cousins.
I don't want Kirk Cousins, but come on. But you know what, Joe? You know what's changed over the last week, or the last couple of weeks? Not that I want those guys to be my quarterback. It's that I don't even know if Justin Fields is good enough to be the bridge quarterback.
Well, that's it. Right.
That's
I
the problem.
understand that. No, I get that.
So you're going to need one. And Tyrod Taylor's here for another year, so.
Sure.
Can we see, am I crazy? I mean, he probably can't play, but can we see this kid, who's the backup, the other quarterback they got
Cook.
on the roster?
Brady
Did we
Cook.
see him? Isn't it worth seeing him a game?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen until like week 14. Unfortunately,
I think
when it's really far gone.
For now, though, it should be Tyrod Taylor because you got to at least give yourself a chance to win. But I agree with you. Once it's really out of the barn and there's 2 weeks to go in the season, you may as well. But did you want to make the move? What point in the game, I guess I'd ask it this way, did you want to make the move to Tyrod Taylor? Was there a moment?
I was okay. Look, they were only down 14-7 at halftime. They were still in the game. And I go to that possession, and we talked about it. They stop them 3 and out. New England gets the ball to start the half. They actually go 3 and out. They stop them. That's the series where Diggs dropped that pass over the middle.
And they ruled it incomplete.
Right. Looked like he caught it, but he didn't catch it. So they stop him. All right. They actually get a couple first downs. They're like driving. They get like on the other side of the 50, and that's where
intentional grounding.
Right.
Yep.
That to me, that if I look at one play in the game, that was the killer. I think at that point, certainly at 21-7, I think I would have at that point went to Taylor.
Yeah, I think right around there. I was thinking halftime almost because those last 3 drives.
Yeah.
They both 2 of the drives went bad because Justin Fields made a terrible pass. He had 2 of them, one on third down.
One Mitchell dropped. He hit him. I mean, that was the best ball he threw all night, and Mitchell didn't catch it.
That was on the other drive, though. Like, that was what
I know.
There were 3 drives.
Well, he missed them, too. And it was a third down where he had him wide open.
That's what I mean.
To the wrong side of him.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
2 examples where he missed open, specifically A.D. Mitchell, who, it was his first game. I give him credit, man. He burned Christian Gonzalez. The problem is he can't catch a freaking football. That's the problem.
The other guy looked okay. Mechie caught the touchdown pass. Of course, he was all alone. The guy fell down. And then he caught another first down pass. So, he's kind of small, but he's fast. Maybe you got something with him. Maybe you do. I don't know.
I don't think it's the skill position players on this team. And you mentioned it's not the offensive line. It's the quarterback, Joe.
Yeah. No, it's all about the 100%. It's all about the quarterback, and I really hope the coach is going to make a switch. I gotta ask you because Tommy told me you're doing a game tonight, right? Louisville, Clemson.
Yep,
right?
Louisville, Clemson.
And Clemson's been a massive disappointment this year.
But you know who's starting at guard, or at least has been the last couple of weeks?
Who's that?
Braden Jacobs. Brandon
Jacobs' kid.
Yeah.
For Clemson?
For Clemson. He's starting at left guard for Dabo. So
right.
I don't know if I think it might be because of injury, but I get a chance to see. I'm sure BJ's here because it's not that far from Atlanta where they live.
Right. But what's called still a cool because I haven't been paying a lot of attention to Clemson after, I know Louisville looks like they could. It is still, I was going to ask you that. It's still him?
Yeah,
because I've seen him a few games. He doesn't look terrible, but
he doesn't.
They've had a bad year.
Well, he's a senior, so he's been here for a while. And I think the expectation was that he was going to be one of those top 5 picks in from a quarterback standpoint, but they got off to such a horrible start. He's played a lot better in the last couple of weeks, so maybe he finds a way. But I'll get an up close and personal report on him for you, Joe.
What time's that game start? Like 7 o'clock?
7:30.
7:30. So I got to watch some of that game because there's nothing else going on tonight either. No. Now before I leave you, I got to ask my guy this. Okay, you got the Met thing on. Are we going to sign these guys? I heard Edwin Díaz say it's only, in his mind, 50-50 he's going to come back to the Mets, and please don't let him sign with the Dodgers. I mean, I've heard that.
I'm afraid of that, bro.
I want to vomit. I mean, the Dodgers, there should be a ban on what the
Joe,
Dodgers
he said it sounded like he said whoever's going to pay me the most money.
Yeah, I think he was honest, bro. I think the 50-50, because we were listening to his clip before, he basically said, in so many words, I'm going to the team that makes me the best offer, and I'd like it for it to be the Mets. I love New York. So this comes down to Cohen and Stearns opening up the wallet and realizing that they cannot afford to try to replace Edwin Díaz.
Take the boy wonder out of it. It all comes down to Cohen. There's nobody. I'm sorry. Stearns doesn't want Alonso. Okay, I don't care what any of these reporters try to tell me. This guy doesn't want him. All right. It comes down to Cohen. Cohen is the guy. Forget Stearns. Cohen's is the guy that's going to pay Pete and pay Diaz, and he needs to do it. And if he doesn't do it, okay, If he pulls a Frank Cashin, okay, and lets, going back to Strawberry in 1990, and lets Alonso walk, and of course this is, the Cashin at least won a championship, but this guy's won nothing, all right? To me, it's all on Cohen. Forget Stern.
You know
it's
why?
All on the owner. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I actually agree with you because in baseball, there's no freaking salary cap. It's just about what you're willing to pay.
Right. You got to pay that luxury tax or whatever.
And that's up to the owner. That's up to how far do they want to go. And so the sense is, based on them meeting with Pete, because they've already met with Pete, they're meeting with Diaz, they'd like to bring them back. Well, go bring them back. Make sure that you make the highest offer. But I'll ask you this, because I want them both back. You know how I feel about Pete.
Want them both back. But if they did nothing else, okay? Nothing else, even not one pitcher, I want my guys back.
I want them back. But let me ask you this. I don't think you're going to want to answer it. Who is going to be tougher to replace, Pete Alonso or Edwin Díaz? I love Pete. I think it's tougher to replace Edwin. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what, bro? And I get it. And Diaz is one of the. I think he's the best closer in baseball.
He is.
Didn't he win the Relief Award? Didn't he win that?
Yes.
I think he did.
He did. Yes.
Okay. Man, I'm just tired of losing my guys, bro. I've been burned from Seaver to Strawberry to Murphy to Wheeler, to David Cohn. We could go on and on. I can't take it anymore. You cannot allow the best, sorry, in all due respect to David Wright, you cannot allow the best everyday player we've ever had to walk away. I want to see Pete Alonso hit 400-plus home runs as a Met. I want him to play his whole career as a Met. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't take it anymore of us letting our guys go.
Amen.
Our iconic players go.
Amen.
Sign freaking Alonso.
To quote you from your lips to God's ears, because they need to. Now, I'm very curious about this, and this has nothing to do with sports, all right?
Go.
Have you or your wife, Terry, have you gotten Netflix yet, or do you not have Netflix?
Which one is this?
Netflix?
I think we do have it.
Okay. Here's the deal.
Which one?
Here's
the deal. Is that the one with A-Rod? Is that A-Rod?
Nah, screw A-Rod.
No, I don't know.
No. There's a 4-part miniseries movie about James Garfield and Charles Goodell.
Oh, I see. You know what? I saw that in the paper the other day.
Bro, you got to watch it.
Oh, man. Did you see it? Did you see it already?
I've seen the whole thing. Tiki has seen it. You got to
watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, Garfield killed the what? I don't even think he lasted a year. Was he?
No, less than a year. He got shot 3 months in his term, died a few months later.
Right, and the guy that killed him was actually a fan of his, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. He was delusional. He thought he was responsible for his success.
Right.
At least that's how it was portrayed.
Yeah, you got to see this.
You got to watch it. It's
very well done.
Yeah, I got to see it. You're right, and it's on Netflix now.
Netflix, yes, right now.
Okay. And what's the name of this?
It's called Death by Lightning. Death by Lightning.
By Lightning.
Yes.
Wow. And I think wouldn't he have recovered if it was like modern medicine?
Yes. The doctors.
Well, no, they should have just left it alone.
It up, right?
Yep.
They left it. So back in the 1800s, this injury would happen, where soldiers would get shot. And they couldn't get to the bullet, wherever it's lodged right by the pancreas or something. And they would just leave it, and they'd be fine. They tried to do surgery and basically killed them.
Yeah. Wow. Now, you know what? You're 100% right, bro. I am all over that. By the way, speaking of that, I am in the middle. I got an 800-page book that my wife got me last year, right? On one of my all-time favorite presidents, one of our all-time great generals, Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, nice.
It's 800 pages. I have read 462 of. I am at the point now. Okay, the Civil War just ended. Lincoln was just assassinated. We are moving now into where he will eventually become the 18th president.
Wow.
So
what's the name of it?
I think it's just Grant. I can get it. It's right over here if you want me to grab it. I think it's Grant. It is massive. Okay? I mean, it gives you every detail of this guy. It's unbelievable. I don't know how he lived to 62. He was smoking like he had a cigar in his mouth all the time.
Yeah.
And my God.
George Burns.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. George Burns lived to be like 100.
I know. Yes.
Not Grant. He made it to about 62. I think.
And he died broke, which is depressing.
Died with nothing. Right. He had to do his memoirs. He had to sell his memoirs just to get some money at the end. Yes.
Absolutely.
I know that.
Yeah. Very
and
cool.
he is buried in Grant's tomb.
That is true. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it.
Hey guys, God bless. Take care.
Thank you, Joe.
The great Joe Benigno, who has Netflix, and he's going to get to see Death by Lightning, because I'm telling you, one of the best shows out there.